What's up, guys? I'm BTC. Welcome back to Overwatch Agents, where we review match replays to catch the cheaters and throwers who try to ruin the game. If you have a replay to share where you think someone was cheating or throwing, you can send it to me along with the info on the screen. Let's get started. In the first couple clips, we're going to be watching someone who is just learning to cheat. It's like baby's first cheat program, or noob's first cheat program. We're going to be looking at the Widow on the red team, and in this first match, what we're going to see is that whatever program is being used is not configured properly, and it's making it so that the zoomed in part is not actually locking onto anything, but the normal attack is, which is pretty much the exact opposite of what you would want if you're trying to use this with a Widow, because you want it to zoom in. Now, we're going to see a couple of different cases here where you can see that the normal attack is very clearly locking on to an enemy Hammond, and at another point it's going to lock on to a McCree, and it will be tracking the Hammond and the enemies through the walls and all that sort of stuff. So you can see through these examples here, very clearly it is locking onto them. Now, funny enough, if you look, you'll notice that it's not properly configured even just in this way, because it's trying to land a critical onto Hammond while he's in the ball form. And so it's actually aiming above the ball, which means that using this program, he's actually dealing less damage to Hammond when he's in the ball, because the program is aiming above the character and is not actually hitting him. You also probably notice the incredibly fast camera shaking. This is the cheat program adjusting for the spread from Widow's attack. In this match, we're going to be looking at a cheater. It is the Widow on the red team, and hey, wait a minute, that name looks familiar. Yes, it is in fact the same player with a couple extra levels, which means that this player has been cheating and ruining quite a few matches. Also, it looks like this person actually figured out how to properly configure the cheats. This replay code was sent to me a day or two after the other code by a different player. So let's go and check out the improvements that this cheater has made. You're going to see right here, very obvious, it's going to lock on to the Genji. And then it perfectly stays connected to the Genji. And let's keep moving this forward. It looks like this player has figured out how to toggle it on and off, because he doesn't seem to be using it all the time. But it does seem that it is on most of the time. There's a snap right there. There's a lock, so blatant. Look at that! You figured out how to make the cheat work. I am really proud of you. You finally got it to work properly. I mean, it probably took you a whole bunch of matches, but hey, you got there eventually. You know what would have been a better use of your time, though? Playing the game properly and learning how to aim, because I saw the later parts of this match when you got accused of cheating and decided to toggle off your cheats, and let's just say your aim needs a lot of work, and you probably should have been practicing that. But hey, don't worry, because Blizzard is now aware of this, and I get the feeling you're probably not going to have your account for much longer. But hey, at least you got the cheats to fully work finally. Hope it was worth it. In the next couple clips, we're going to be looking at a bunch of Torbjorn players. Let me get this started. We're looking at 4 different players. In this match, it's these 2 right here. And what they're doing is running an AFK script so that the character will just kind of move a little bit, use some abilities, attack, so that they don't get kicked out. Now, the reason for this is because if you look at this character, he's only level 4, and then the other one is level 8. So these scripts are being used in order to just level up the account so that they can then later be deranked as low as possible and then sold off as Smurf accounts. This is something that we've seen many, many times. Now, you may not care too much about what's going on in the arcade free-for-all, like, okay, whatever, you get a couple of free eliminations, but remember, these accounts are going to be put into competitive, they're going to be deranked, which is going to cause problems, and then they're going to be sold as Smurfs. Let's go and check out the other match. We have another match with 2 more Torbjorn players doing the exact same Torbjorn trick, but they're using different scripts. So for this character, you can see that it's level 22, and then the other one is only level 6. So let's get this started. You're going to see that they're using a different version of the script. Like this one is just kind of jumping all over the place. That one's a little difficult to look at. Let me actually zoom out here and get a better look at this from the outside. So you can see that this one isn't just kind of pressing a button every now and again. It's rapidly doing all kinds of stuff, just using abilities and all that sort of stuff. And then let's skip over to the other one, and this one is using something a little more standard. It even makes it look like the character is trying to attack, but look at this. Genji is going to come up here, and the Genji is actually like kind of dodging, although I mean he is trying to dodge the turret damage a little bit here, but the Torbjorn is just attacking directly into the wall. Like I said, what's going to happen is that these are going to be leveled up to 25, then they're going to be deranked, and then the accounts are going to be sold off as Smurfs. In this match, we're going to be looking at a cheater on the red team. It's the McCree. He's using both wall hack and aimbot, and it's pretty obvious he's not trying to hide it at all. So the first one we're going to see here is the Sigma, and you'll notice that it's going to snap up to his head, critical, and then it kind of tracks him for a few seconds before it gets the next one. And then we're going to see the Hammond on the far distance, the blue Hammond. He's going to line it up and have it locked on before he even pops out, so there you go. Hits him a couple more times. Now, the thing I want to show you is this over here. This is a Junkrat who just jumped up on top there. Now, we're going to inch it forward because you can see it now. It tried to lock, and then it locked again, and he managed to attack. Now, from this angle, you can't even see that Junkrat. It doesn't even appear. It's not possible to even see him from McCree's perspective. I mean, there's the tiniest sliver because you've got this thing in the way. But despite that, he manages to land a perfect critical right into the Junkrat. Now, there's a bunch of other really obvious examples. Let's jump to those. Right now, he's trying to camp the blue team spawn room. He's going to try to go after the Moira, and you're going to see that he tracks the Moira through the wall. But when he presses the button to attack, Moira is already inside the building, so it just snaps over and hits the Hammond instead. So there you see it's tracking, but when he presses the button, it moves over to the Hammond. Here we're going to see him tracking the Doomfist up top, but just like with the previous situation, the Doomfist is not going to be in the camera, and so it's going to default to a different character. So you can see he's looking at the Doomfist. He does lock on and get that critical there. Then the Doomfist flies away, but when he presses the button, it just swings down over to the Lucio instead. And you can see the perfect tracking as it is following. Then it snapped again to the Doomfist. And now the Hanzo, which it is again going to snap to and get 2 criticals. Very, very obvious this guy is using both a wall hack and an aimbot, and he's really not even trying to hide it. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to be commenter of the video, then leave yours, and while you're at it, ring the bell so you never miss a new video. Also, if you want to get some cool gear, join my Discord server, or follow me on social media, then check out the links down below. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault.